Hello, thank you for joining me here on Oikos Live on the 14th of March 2019. This is episode 44, is it, Jamie? 44, yes. Today's episode is, I've got just a few announcements. I don't know if you've watched previous live streamings where we said we're going to try and keep the announcements separate, but that's just not working out because Oikos Live is all about just being here for you once a week. That's our hope, and just being available to help you and answer any questions you might have and let you know whatever's the latest news that you might need to be knowing. Okay, well, off the top of the charts today is that just before this live streaming, I have had some time with Dr. Wile of Science Through History series. As you may or may not know, he has written all the Science Through History series, which are available through Oikos, and he also wrote the Apologia Junior High and Senior High science books. Now, if you are using any of these resources, or if you just have some questions, or your children, even more importantly, have some questions about science, then next week, our live streaming, we're going to have Dr. J as a guest. So we're very excited about this because we did the test today to see how it would all work, and we're going to have him as a Skype guest, which means that I will be introducing and seeing him there, and hello, Dr. J, and welcome to our live streaming. And Dr. J will be sitting there in his office in Indiana, in his home, his office, I'm not sure where he'll be, and he will be sharing with us and being just available to answer any of your questions. So I'm telling you about this today. It's Thursday, and it's next Wednesday at 3 o'clock South African time that Dr. J is going to be our guest here on live streaming. Please join us, and please tell other people that he is available in that time. It's really not easy to make a time that can just be carved out to be available, just to be able to sit and answer all the questions that might come up from anybody anywhere in the world. It's just a wonderful tool, this technology, to be able to, which enables us, this tool of technology enables us to be able to be available to you, for you. So that is the big news for next week. Now, Wednesday, the 13th of March, we were going to be going live. But what happened? We got a little announcement from Eskom, that is our power electricity supply here in South Africa, to say that they're going to be doing repairs, or whatever it is, from 7 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. So it was a good test for us to see that next week when we have Dr. J live, what if that were to happen and we're going to have load shedding, as it's called here? How are we going to manage that? So we've got all our practical and technical things all worked out, which we had to because we had this announcement that we had no power. And I just would like to mention that I don't know about the rest of you, but you know when you get something that just turns your day on its head, your immediate natural response to that, when I say I'm just generalizing, is, oh no, calamity, now what to do? But what I would like to suggest is that every time something like that happens, it very often promotes or encourages or supports something even better. So, for example, yesterday we had no power all day, which meant that we had to put a lot of other things in place to make sure that we wouldn't be limited by the limitations of the natural. See? Because God is a great God, a big and powerful great God, and nothing is impossible for him. So what we look at is, it looks like everything's impossible. It's just all falling apart around us. And so that means that we are actually going to be able to walk in what looks like it's impossible. So that gives us a sense of achieving the impossible, which is a huge blessing. In actual fact, I grabbed this little quote when I was coming into live streaming. It says, it is amazing how clear things become when we are still before him, not complaining, not insisting on quick answers, only seeking to hear his word in the stillness and to see things in his light. So I just wanted to encourage you with saying it is so easy to be quick complainers, so easy. I mean, all of us fall into that trap. I know I do. I don't think anybody doesn't. I mean, unless, I don't know, if you know somebody who doesn't fall quickly into the trap of being quick to complain instead of quick to give praise or to give thanks. And in his word, let me finish my sentence. I said, if you know anybody, then I'm asking you to let me know because I want to meet that person. that person who has overcome the quick to complain malady that I think all of us humans suffer from. But if we could just absorb his word where he says, be still and know that I am God. And he says, give thanks when you face these trials. And he says, consider it pure joy and praise me. I'm thinking, okay, now a calamity has hit us. So what does he say to do? So if we can be quick to go to him instead of quick to complain, and if we go quick to what God says to do, he says, just give thanks and just praise me. And so you just do that. It doesn't make sense, but you just do that. And then what happens? You found yourself, let me read it again. Things become clearer when we are not complaining, when we don't want a quick answer and we're seeking the quick, immediate solution, when we just stop and be still, things become clearer. Okay, so now I'm going to share a little personal testimony of something that happened this morning. I woke up this morning and I read this from James chapter 1, verse 12. It says, blessed is a man who perseveres under trial, for once he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life which the Lord has promised to those who love him. I read that this morning and I thought, blessed are us who persevere under trial. And then the morning hit. Just the most ridiculous, unnatural, crazy, unacceptable, huge calamities hit. Just one after the next like that. And what did I read that morning? I had read that we must persevere under trial. But how to persevere, that's the thing. And then we go to his word again, and to persevere the way he wants us to is to give thanks, which seems odd to our natural at the time. But if we just do, if just simple obedience, if we just do what he says, it actually just takes us through. I mean, I just know that had I not read that scripture this morning, and had we faced the kind of things that had just come one after the other like a tsunami, I just think, what would I do without his word? It's like his word strengthens, sustains, carries, gives peace. In fact, I had a conversation with our Mr. Helperman, who helps us on I'm just trying to go to it now, see if he's there. Can say hello to everybody. Helps us with the helping people on Chat to Us and with order processing and everything. And I was chatting to him earlier. His name is Kieran. And he was explaining something to me about just how he was taking me through some steps of how technology can really help us to be even more effective in our service of people. And the thing that came to me when he had finished sharing all that with me and showing me was just peace. I suddenly had peace that I hadn't had before, because before I was troubled. I was troubled by, but what are we going to do? And then he just takes me through the steps of how technology can help us. And I just felt peace washing over me. So now I was at peace. So would you believe that actually technology actually the result of me getting an understanding on technology actually gave me peace. Now, I know that I have been very guilty of technology doing the absolute opposite to me, where I don't have peace from it, and it just sometimes just completely boggles my brain, and I just end up feeling like I just can't figure it out. And then reminded of his word and reminded of the blessing that technology can be, such as I can sit here and talk to you. That is just such a huge blessing. I'm just so grateful to the Lord for that. And I could talk to Dr. J earlier on, just before I came to talk to all of you. And there he's sitting in Indiana, and here we're sitting in South Africa. And I could have a chat with him. And his dear darling wife popped her head in, and I could have a quick chat with her. I just think it's just such a huge blessing. So I'm going to go and see who I'm chatting with there today, so I can see who's... Oh, Shirley and Annalie. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. Shirley, I'm glad you can join me. It's a while since you joined our live streaming, and I'm very, very glad you can be there today. In fact, you have been the topic of some conversation. So you've been on our lips quite a bit this last couple of weeks, because I've been getting some word from your region of the world, which is the United Kingdom, for those of you who don't know where Shirley is, of requests to help parents with children that are having difficulties within the program, within the system that is run in the UK, as in, let's say a child isn't fitting in well with that for whatever reason. It doesn't seem that things are quite as established. I'm now just talking off from what I've received. I don't have facts, but what I'm picking up is that things aren't as established in the UK from a supporting home education stance as what they may be here in South Africa. Shirley, tell me if that's right or wrong. I mean, you're the perfect person to ask because you live in the UK, but you used to live in South Africa, and you are actually South African, and you immigrated to the UK. I don't know if I can use that word, if that's the right thing to say, that you immigrated. I'm not sure if that's correct, but you can tell me. And you know what the status is there and what the environment is there and so on. So what's exciting is that live streaming means that we can actually possibly be of some assistance, we hope, because if Oikos has been able to help bring support and service to families here in South Africa, now we can help people anywhere in the world. How exciting is that? It's just absolutely fantastic. So Shirley, because we are testing how to do all this with Dr. J, who kindly was available today to help us with all getting everything in place, all the technical behind the scenes stuff, and he's going to be with us next Wednesday. Perhaps you can join us next Wednesday, our 3 o'clock time, and maybe even get a couple of other moms to join in and be present. I don't know how to suggest to do that. Maybe have them for tea. I don't know what time it will be for you there. And they can maybe partake in sharing Dr. J and sharing Dr. J. You know what I mean? So then maybe if we see how that goes, then maybe we can set up a little support thing whereby I can be of some support and help if possible. If there's some help I can bring to the home educating families or the parents that aren't even home educating maybe in the UK, but maybe they need to, or maybe their situation is such that it would be a really, really good alternative or option or answer actually for their child. I heard a story last week of a mom that's in the UK that was just absolutely heartbreaking about her child, who was a 9-year-old little boy, and he just wasn't able to fit into any options that were given the parents, and they were fairly desperate. And do you know that they didn't even know of the option of home education? It hadn't even come across their mind. So I know those that have actually traveled this road of home education and experienced the tremendous value and the blessings, and we could spend the rest of today and forevermore talking about how great and wonderful it is, especially that we have time to teach our children in the Word and from the Word. And that is just so, so, so important. It's such an incredible gift to give them, greater than any other gift that I know to impart to children that are entrusted to our care. So Shirley, let me know. Let me see if Shirley's got something to say. I'm busy talking to you, but I'm not sure. Yes, I would say that is correct. I think it depends on what area you are in. Some people have great support, but a lot of people don't. The support is nothing like I experience. Oh my goodness. I'd love to, but I can't. I've just been, a magistrate will be training that. What? A magistrate? Wow. I've just been sworn in as a magistrate. You're going to have to tell me what that means exactly. My goodness, you'll be training that day. Okay, well, let's make another day. Let's make another day, Shirley, where we can maybe get together and have a live streaming time. But thank you for being there today, and tell me more about this magistrate thing. I would like to know more about that. And thank you as well for telling me that some people have support and some do not. And the support is nothing like you experienced in South Africa. So then here's a thought. How about we get the support there as you experienced in South Africa? I'm just excited that you are there today, Shirley, because as I said, we've been discussing this a lot the last couple of weeks in, I was going to say in South Africa, here in Oikos actually, because we've been getting these calls for help from the UK. And so what did I say to the people? I said, well, there's a lady by the name of Shirley there in the UK, and I'm going to get in touch with her. I'm going to see if we can put something together. So, and now there you are in live streaming. So I'm really, really glad you could join me. Okay, I was going to ask you, thank you for letting me know. Shirley just said I can give people her information. Thank you for letting me know that. I would like very much to do that, and I would like to just be able to just keep doing that. I think we've really covered this where I asked you before and you said yes. I suppose I'm very sensitive just to passing on people's information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not give that mom your details. Which way around should I do it? I'm going to give that mom your details rather than give you that mom's details. That's it. So thank you. I will just be letting people know. Here's Shirley. You can contact her. Here's her email. I don't know whereabouts in UK these moms are that I'm talking about. There's a few of them. I'll tell you something else, Shirley, that actually one of them asked me if I would please come over. And so I said to her, yes, we'd be willing to do that because we want to be able to help. But before we do, could you go onto the Oikos site and watch some of those videos that on the special needs and that, and just see if they can help? Well, you know what happened? Got an email back to say that she had watched those videos and they were so helpful. She could watch them with her husband, and then she could watch them with some extended family member, I think somebody who was a teacher or a remedial teacher or something. And this mom now wanted to be able to show others. So I thought, wonderful. See, now, we didn't even talk anymore about me coming over to help. I think she wanted me to help at some remedial school, something like that. I won't go into the details, but anyway, that's what happened. I pointed her to what courses and what's available for her on the Oikos website, and she found that to be helpful. So now what's exciting me about that is that little group of people can actually get the help, we hope, that Oikos is made available for people, wherever they are, whatever they're doing. We just hope that that is going to be supportive of them in their walk. Oh, Annalie, thank you. Annalie listened to the podcast this week twice. They were so encouraging. I'm enjoying these so much. You know what, Annalie? Thank you for saying that, because you know why? You just reminded me to tell people about the podcast. We're doing a podcast every week. In fact, somebody on a live streaming asked us to do that, and we thought, okay, all right, why not? Let's do that. So now we're doing that. We've got a podcast channel. It's called the Oikos Family Podcast, and I think Jamie will put the link in there. And we're just going to do a weekly podcast. And that is where we want to keep it very, very focused on supporting the parent in their journey with home educating their children. Very focused on that, just on parenting and supporting you in any way that we can. I'm just wanting to share whatever it is that we feel we've received that has been a huge blessing in our lives. I want to share that on. And so that's what we're doing with the podcast. And I just hope that people will, Annalise saying she's listened to them twice. That's a very big thing. I mean, wow, that you would listen to it twice. Okay. Well, thank you, Annalie. I'm hoping they were just very, very supportive. Yes, a magistrate judge. What are you talking about, Shirley? You can give them on my email if you want. What are you talking about, a magistrate? Are you telling me? Okay, I'm reading now. It's a voluntary position that I'll email you and we can set a date. A voluntary position to be a magistrate judge. Don't you have to have all kinds of degrees and things to be a judge? I'm very fascinated by this, but I'm not going to get too distracted with that. You can write to me about it. You can email me all about that, because I'm really, really fascinated to hear more about that. And in the meantime, I'm going to quickly go here to look at the notes that I had to talk to everybody about. The one thing was to tell you, today we've got wonderful news to tell everybody that it matters to, that Oikos has finally got a fixed line. That means that years ago, all our fixed lines were stolen, and they were replaced, and then they were stolen again, they were replaced. And then we ended up only being able to use these cell phones, got them here, So what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to, look, I've even got one that says Oikos on the back. Look at that. We've been trying to use these cell phones as the line for Oikos. Oh my goodness, that has been a test in itself, because there's no power, and then the tower's down, and then the wind did this, and then the I don't know, all the technical reasons why these cell phones weren't being very stable. And so we've been trying to get a fixed line, as in a solid line, whereby if somebody dials that number, they get an answer. Not maybe they do and maybe they don't. And they're going to get something, even if unfortunately it might be a voicemail sometimes that says, we are sorry, we can't take your call right now, because maybe we're talking to somebody else, or maybe the people that are committed to being available for that can't talk to 3 people at once. And you know how it is. So you might get a voicemail that says, if you're getting this voicemail, please go to chat to us on the website. And then you can go there, and then somebody will be answering you. Again, that also might be crowded. It might be a little bit of a wait in line situation, but maybe not. Maybe you can answer instantly. The thing that I want to encourage you in is to use the chat to us on the Oikos site. Please tell others, those that are watching this now, please tell other people to use the chat to us, because you know why? It's so much more effective for you, because if you've got some query and you go to chat to us and you write on the chat to us on the Oikos homepage, on the Oikos website, any page actually, and you say to them, my name is such and such and this is my problem, you're going to get an answer, and the person who's answering there will be able to look back and forth and inside and outside and upside, downside and all the rest, to see how they can best service and support and help you. Whereas on the phone, they're going to have to try and do that by going to the website, because let's say you've got a problem with your order, something didn't arrive as it needed to, or there was 2 of something instead of 1 of something, whatever the situation. It can be all kinds of things. When you go to chat to us, you're going to be able to get a more efficient, effective service. That's all there is to it, than the phone. But the phone, if you need to talk to somebody, and it's not a robot on the other side of the phone, it's a real person. Somebody asked, it's happened more than once now actually, people ask, is it a robot on the other side? No, it's not a robot, it's an actual person. They're really waiting to help you. Okay, that was the one thing I needed to tell you, was about the chat to us and about our fixed line. And I'm going to give you the number, but it's actually on the Oikos page, top left-hand corner, it's all over. 031 880-2345. That's the South African Oikos fixed line number. It's very wonderful. It's official. So we hope that's going to be helpful to you. All right, then the other thing is that we did do another big change in Oikos this year, and that is we moved on to improving the payment on the website, and you could do instant EFT. And it hasn't gone well for everybody, because it's something unfamiliar, there's differences, it's not a case of doing your order and then going to your bank page and doing an EFT and then coming back to your order and sending the proof of payment, all those steps you used to do. Now it's just quick, instant, like paying with a credit card. In fact, you can pay with a debit card or a check card, which you normally have linked to a current account. But there's been a few challenges, such as if your limit on the back end is 0, and you got to do a payment with your debit or check card, which is your instant EFT, same as your instant EFT, and the profile settings on your bank say 0, it's just not going to let you do the payment. It's like a security thing for you, actually. And it's also a security thing for Oikos, but primarily you. So there have been some struggles with the instant EFT for some people. Other people, it's just been wonderful, because it just speeds up the whole process, and everything is safer, more efficient, it's recorded, so on. But what I want to say to you, that if you're having a struggle, we don't want you to sit there, struggle. We've had some people getting hold of us after being struggling with this for 3 days. And we go, no, don't wait 3 days. If you're having a struggle, jump on to chat to us and say, this is my order, I've placed my order, and the payment won't go through, it's just failing. And now you might feel a little bit unsettled, because has it gone or hasn't it? And you can't be certain, because maybe it did go through, and you don't want to put a second payment through and that one's already gone through, maybe. And you're a bit unsure. Well, then you go to chat to us and you speak about it. You tell us your name and your order number, and we look at it and go, no, there's no payment reflected, it failed, it didn't come through. And I just want to encourage you to just persevere a little bit, just like that scripture that I had to read this morning. Just persevere. Because once you've got through that, the next time you come to do it, you've gone through, you've jumped over all those hurdles. The race is finished now. You got to the finish line. Now the next time it's just straight there. You don't have to jump the hurdles anymore. So you might be tripped up a little bit. You might feel a bit of a struggle or difficulties. And what I'm asking you to please do is persevere with us and go to chat to us, phone if you need to. We're here to help you. We don't want you to be sitting having this big difficulty and struggle. We want to be able to help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. If you need to do a payment, we want to help you to get that payment through without a struggle. All right. So, however, saying all that, as I say, once you've jumped all those hurdles, if you feel you need to, because in some instances it is just instant, straight, quick, easy. Other instances it's not, because there might be some settings or there might be some internet problems. That's another thing. Internet isn't just always stable and constant. So as you're about to do your payment, the internet could drop and then that's it. Now your payment fails and now you're not sure about things. So you got to chat to us and say, I was trying to do this payment and it just dropped. It just, something went wrong. And then the people on chat to us will be able to have a look and go, oh, oops, we can see what happened. It was an internet drop or it was something. They'll be able to look in the back end and tell you. Mostly, sometimes they won't be able to have an answer because sometimes we don't have all the answers, but they'll do their best and then help you to take the steps required to get through. So before I go away from that subject, I just want to thank those of you who have been persevering, and also apologies for those of you who had a very negative experience, possibly it didn't go so well for you, and maybe you couldn't get us because we didn't have our fixed line yet, and maybe it just was not altogether a good experience for you. So I'm so sorry about that. We don't like that. We want to make that better, which we're trying to do. So apologies for that if that's been your experience. And if it has, you can tell us. We don't mind if you tell us that you've had a bad experience, because then we try and, see what you actually help us when you tell us a negative. We don't take it as though you're complaining. We've spoken at the beginning, I've spoken at the beginning about complaining. We don't take it as complaining. We take it as you having a real difficulty. You telling us about it, we can help you, we hope. But if you don't tell us and we hear about it long after you've had trying to persevere for ages and ages, then we don't necessarily know that you've had that struggle. And we would like to hear from you, even if it's not a positive thing. You know why I'm talking about this is because one mom wrote last week sometime, and she was actually apologizing so much. She said, I'm so sorry. This is what she wrote, and I felt quite sad. She says, I don't want to be a pain. And I thought, you're not being a pain. Absolutely not. It's just, she's a mom. She's trying to achieve something. She can't achieve it, and she's feeling foolish, and she's feeling like she's been a pain. I just want to tell you that's not what we want you to feel. If you're having a struggle, we want to help you. We don't want you to feel like you've been a pain. Definitely not. Don't even like to say that. It's just sad. Don't want you to feel like that. We want you to feel supported and helped by Oikos. So let us know when you're having a struggle. We want to help you. Okay. All right. Then the last announcement here, I really think I want to go and see what the moms have got to say. If anybody else has joined us here. Annalie, are you still there? I wonder if Sylvie's still there. Annalie's saying hello to Sylvie. Maybe not Sylvie. Yes, it is Sylvie. It is Sylvie. Hello, Sylvie. What are you? I wonder how Sylvie can be there now. I'm getting so confused because I was talking to Shirley, and then suddenly I was talking to Sylvie, and then I realized I'm actually talking to Sylvie, not Shirley. Okay, Sylvie. Hello, Sylvie. Up there on the hill. I'm wondering how she's doing this. I wonder, Sylvie, do you have internet now? The last time I saw Sylvie, they didn't have any internet at all. So maybe she's got internet now. Or maybe she's not here. Maybe she's somewhere else. Okay. I wanted to tell you about Emma. You'll see on the Oikos homepage is a feature video. We chatted to Emma Darling. Now, Emma we interviewed, if I can call it that. Let me rather say we had a chat with Emma interview sounds very formal. We had a chat with Emma when she was at Stellenbosch University in Cape Town, when she was studying to be an occupational therapist. And we met up with her a couple of times since she's qualified and now. And we said, oh, won't you come and chat with us again? And she said, yes, she would be willing to do that. So we were very grateful. And so she came and shared her story with us about where she's at now in her life's journey. And that is on the Oikos homepage. So please go and watch it. I'm asking you specifically to go and watch it because Emma is chatting to us about her journey and where she's come from being home educated to going into university, then going into the professional world and so on. I think it's really, really encouraging. So I hope you can watch Emma. All right. Now I've shared everything with you that I needed to. So now I'm here to answer your questions. And that's something. Has anybody got a question? So far, I'm not seeing any questions. All right, I'm going to be moving on and loving and leaving you ladies. Those who could join me, thank you for joining me. Thank you again for joining me today. And I'm going to hope I see you and your friends next week on Wednesday at 3 o'clock when Dr. J is going to visit us, because it could be the start of having Skype guests on our live streaming. We hope that can work out nicely for everybody. So for now, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me on live streaming today, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.